Kani ketika Batesi TV, bat pidang pet yaki kubur baman kasni, balawan rasha pida ka Orange Nissan, loan so po niya Fabricate Shillong.
Ka Deputy Commissioner jagi East Khasi District ka Kong Mat Sudor Warnong Bri hakakat pratrik uyayong arjar arpo. Kala lum jingelang yaki kle nong sesyar kisnong kibahasor bat kapsor bat yaki nong ilam jong kinyam baper nak bentawan ya theritai halor ka jingja ka badang syen hasnong jalupara bat hakasnong nong po hakaba ki patba kilayeng persya bantang ya kamet jong Dr. John L. Sailo Rintatiang ublalong unong song bandingkong haka jila Meghalaya ban klat no nakning slapar thai hadin bulangat hau knyang jingpang coronavirus hakini jingelang kablalong hau susutham auditorium lawani shimentalang ru da u commissioner and secretary jong nat ka koi kakya u Sampat Kumar bat ka superintendent of police ka East Khasi District ka Kong Claudia Elingwa u director jong ka health services u Dr. Amanwar kibla ai ya ki jing penchai bat kibla pensu thu ki bor sin charnong bat kinoi lam niam ki dei ban ai ka jing trailang bat ki bor sarkar hakum kini kapor baka sarkar kan habani khontma persya ya ka jing pang coronavirus.
We were prepared for this, and one of the main hospitals which we were banking on just in case we have any surge or we have any problem got hit. And in the process, it got hit also on the very last day when we were thinking that this virus will not enter the state. However, we reacted fast. We tried all the possible measures that we have already laid down as per the SOPs. And as of now, we could contain in one particular area of the city. Most of the affected members are from one particular family or associated with this family. But now we have to be prepared for this next phase, which will be crucial for us. But kani, I speak in Khasi also. But kani kajing kaya kajangi menta. Kalong ba kanu kajing mi na kani kajing bar step but kajing system na kalian ke health department ngidang yele ban yada bakanum pur syakiwai bat ki bentang padahal ni kajing bengkaya kajing ngidon kam ya khti kaman khti kadang kajing but hagani kajing bengkaya kajing bagini trekam trestam ngidu ya long jong wei doktor uba ngimdan kaman ai kerteng hang ni via tablet uni ri doktor uba ai ni khti kaman khti kadang uba ai ni cooperation man kin kilyang kiba ya bengkaya man ki meeting gi bungi khot fa ba representatives kajing but kani ka hospital kani ka wei ka ba insuility ba ngin yo kajing yarap lada kawan kum gani kajing dia ka kadang kum kalang mentah ndinga suka wan bentah ahmad jong kinong charge nong ya. I want to voice it here in front of all the headmen, in front of all the leaders of the various religious groups, in front of my officers, in front of my senior officers, in front of everybody present here, that as I was busy doing the work, preparing for any eventuality with our doctors, with our staff, with the state response team, a message came to me that they could not finish the work, the final work, the final rites for our dear beloved doctor. I have come here not to point fingers at anybody. But I just want to lay it on the line that when they had informed me, I was thinking that all the rites had been completed and we had at least fulfilled what the family members wanted. We had asked them to follow all the protocols. They have done it. It has been certified by me. I have given a written certificate also to that extent. So then one more thing also, there is a lot of, I'm worried about this. We have put people in our quarantine centers, and as far as practicable, we have tried to give them a single room for each person. Now in these single rooms, we have this psychological support in our state response team. Because a person sitting there 14 days doing nothing, sometimes it can be quite depressing. And we know this. So we try to give them all the facilities possible, the best facilities possible in this present circumstance and in this present situation. Now you will see in the social media, I'm not getting food. My food is late. When the patients come to the centers, it was clearly explained that subject to the outcome of the tests performed, we have put tables in front of each and every room, and the people serving the food, they go and place it on the table. Why we are doing this is that to prevent transmission, to prevent the person coming out from the room. And they are supposed just to open the room and take the food out. Take the food from the table and then go inside the room. And then when you finish, you replace back the packets on the table. That's all. Very simple thing, which we are doing at home. And at times, it is difficult for us from the medical staff to supervise even this part of the process. So if there are any issues like this, if they call the doctor concerned directly out there, it will be solved. They can just tell that the food is on the table, outside the room, you just open it. There is no problem. So this is one other aspect which has caused embarrassment to us, because there was no fault from our part. It's caused embarrassment to the government, and it's caused embarrassment to the doctors who are performing the duties, the frontline people who are there, and the cleaning staff who are the most vulnerable, because they are cleaning the rooms, they are cleaning the bathrooms. So if you can give that support to them, I think that is what we want and that's what we need now.
This is a new disease. It's called novel. It's called novel corona. Novel means new. So that's why there's a lot of anxiety. We need to create a lot of awareness about it. So that actually we have been doing, and we were only till 4 days, till 13th, we were one of the 2 states in the country where there was no case reported. So, but this has got high transmissibility. So, I don't think actually this can be stopped by anybody unless you stop it. Okay, how? That's where you have to understand that how actually this particular virus transmits. So the government has understood this one basically right from the beginning. That's why we put in a very good system. That system is surveillance system. We put a system that like whoever is coming from abroad, register here, stay put at home quarantine. And our people call them and check them. Are you seriously putting, everything is okay. If you have any symptoms, please let us know. This system, through this system, many people have registered, and this is started from January 24th in the state. But like, as I said, anything can happen from, something happened and it has come. And before that, actually, we were actually making some mathematical modeling. Means we have taken some public health professionals, we are taking the mathematical, how South Korea is doing, how others are doing. So we started working on three-pronged strategy. First, as I said, surveillance, tracking how actually this can come, possibly can come. Because it started in China, it went to Italy, it went to America, it went to India. How actually we can track this one. So whoever coming from these places, it came to India also some places. So we're tracking that one. So through that, we put thousands of people tracked. We have a system now. That's one. Second is that strengthening the health systems in case it comes. How actually we are going to take care of it. I just want to tell you, majority of these cases do not require hospital. Please, this is one thing. I wanted to demystify this. Majority of those cases do not require hospitalization. Over 80% do not require hospitalization because it is like any other cold and fever, flu. Only thing is that it has got a transmissibility. During that time, if you touch somebody, that person will get it. Okay, touch means basically, touch also nothing will happen. But if you touch and if you inhale, the aerosols, where if he sneezes, you inhale that one. See, as long as, you are wearing a mask and, as long as you are, basically before eating food or before doing anything, washing your hands frequently and maintaining a safe distance of 1 meter. Okay, literally whenever you put this rule, once we do this, we'll be able to really handle it without any fear. We went there to a village and we spoke to the family members also that they also need to be tested, but and they are with so much responsibility. They understood it. They are really in fact the village, the Asha is the backbone of our rural healthcare system. She is actually providing food to them, taking care of proper care. It's a very beautiful, there is already, I found in the village, a Corona Care Center run by community. It's a beautiful system. That's kind of a community capacity we need to build. Okay, that's the third strategy what I'm talking about. First, tracking the transmission chain through surveillance. Second, strengthening the health systems. That's what we said. We did that mathematical modeling and we found even if you have a 10,000 cases in the state, we have the system to manage. Just I want to assure you, even if you have a 10,000 cases in the state, we have a systems to manage because as per that, how many require hospitalization? We require hospitalization, we require about 1600 beds we require if that kind of a number of cases come. You understand? We have those isolation beds, everything. We require around 70 ventilators at any given point of time. We have made everything ready. So these systems are ready. So what is required is building the third strategy now. Now we come to the third strategy, building the community capacity. The way the village, in fact I will show you the village headmen, how they have built that capacity. That capacity we need to build. We need to, once we build the capacity, we can remove the fear. We can remove the misunderstanding. We can remove the stigma. Because why I am saying this is in fact encountered by all the human beings. Today someone, tomorrow somebody, later me. It can happen to anyone. So we as a human beings has to really build that capacity to really work without fear and with all empathy, with all responsibility. Responsibility is also important. When I talk about responsibility, I talk about two things. In fact, every day we have video conference. In fact, this is happening, more than a month now. Every day we have video conferences with all the deputy commissioners and the DM and HOs and civil hospital superintendents, just like together. Yesterday, video conference, we discussed about one thing. There are two category of people here. In fact, in terms of building the capacity. One is maybe, large number of people might not have the knowledge about it. For example, why that cremation issue has happened. Like, maybe they might not have that right kind of information, or they might not know the scientific basis of the information. That's one. So we need to build that information. Second is that educated classes. They know the information, but if you don't practice, this virus doesn't discriminate anybody. You understand? You have to practice that. So these two are important. So that's why this actually is teaching us how disciplined we should be, how empathetic we should be, how caring we should be. I think it is teaching us to live with a great sense of responsibility, with a great amount of care that we need to.
For two, three reasons. One was, of course, the fact that we did have a little bit of a problem on the day that we had to look at the funeral of the COVID-19 patient, and it was a unexpected day, and it was a very sad situation that happened. But then we found that we had meetings with the different localities who were involved. And we found that yes, there were areas that needed to be tackled and be taken into consideration. But that said, we wanted to talk to all the concerned Shnongs and all the others who are available today in our meeting. That there has to be a humane connection. There has to be a humane connection when it comes to these matters. We have to take into consideration the present situation as it is. We are in a COVID-19 situation in the state. We did not expect it to happen, but it has happened, and we have to take stock of it, and we have to move forward. We have to ensure that our citizens are safe. The health department is doing its bit. You would have seen that we had different explanations on the queries that were being raised by the members today who were there in the meeting. So these answers were given by the Director of Health Services, who himself has come and explained. We also had the Commissioner and Secretary, Mr. P. Sampath Kumar, sir, who has a vast experience and who has taken very long and good steps to ensure that we contain the situation. And I think that all the steps that we have taken since the month of January has really paid off to say that we do not have that kind of an outbreak as of now, and we pray to the Almighty that it remains that way. Although we have one person who have lost, it does not mean that it does not mean that we should think that that this virus is going to get all worse. But as I said, we pray to the Almighty that it remains there and it ends there. Then again, being a disease, we do not know when it strikes and where it strikes, but the state is all geared up to face it to the maximum. Yes, as I said, it is very clear actually right from the day itself. It was very clear once the Ratnamkya Presbyterian Church came forward to say that they were willing to take to have the burial of the deceased in their cemetery. Many churches also came forward, at the same time, and it is very clear that we are all ready for this, and from today's meeting is very positive. They are here to help us. They are here to cooperate with us. They just wanted some clarifications on certain technicalities. The clarifications were given, not only today, it was given since yesterday and the day before yesterday too. And we are sure that things will move in the future. So as I also mentioned today, and as discussed with with us by our Chief Secretary and our Honourable Chief Ministers and the Cabinet itself, is that we are coming out with many appeals in different languages. We are coming out with the government, through the Health and Family Welfare Department especially, because it has to come from them. It's a very technical matter. Through audio clips, visual clips, in the different languages, Khasi, Jaintia, Garo, the local, and English and Hindi, so that our people will have a better understanding, and this can be easily distributed and disseminated in social media and in different other mediums, so that our people are clear about the different matters related to COVID-19.